Gardening update on August 4th. The garden's getting more vibrant and starting to thrive. Right structure and the environment makes a big difference. A little bit of changes to the soil, a little bit of tilling, and just kind of moving things around, seeing what's working, give them the necessary space and the necessary containers. So starting in random order, these are my flaxseed sprouts. I think they've been growing for about a month now, and I still take a bunch every now and then and toss it in my omelet. They're still edible, but I think past this point I'm probably going to let them grow and harvest them for seeds, or harvest the seeds from them. There's a little bit of puddle here which I got to clean, but that's a radish plant. Based on the previous update, I think there's a morning glory plant. It was not thriving in the boots that it was growing in. I changed it and it's just taken off in not even like 10 days, and it's probably grown like 300% in terms of length. So the environment change has helped. I think it's ready to be transported to the to the actual soil, earth at this point. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. This was an experiment with the cilantro or coriander. I don't know what's going on with them. Some of them are starting to turn red, so probably too early to tell how they're going to thrive. A little mint plant. I think this was a transplant from a clipping it was growing in the water for a while till it could take roots, and this is where it is right now. My snow pea plant in the container is doing really well. I think I harvested probably like 8 or 9 snow peas from just this plant today, and a couple from the other ones, and there's still some in there which I'm gonna let them grow for a couple of days, so they're doing pretty good. More flaxseed sprouts. Potato plant is thriving really well. I think this was from a potato that I forget like if it was one of the ones that I was growing, like when you put the potato or like a sweet potato in the water to let it root, if it's one of those, or if the roots were already taken. But the plant seems to be thriving right now. It's probably like a couple of potatoes developing under the soil. That's my sweet potato plant. It seems to be evolving rather well. One of my stevia plants is withering. I think it's gonna die. I don't know what would cause it. Maybe I stepped on it the other day. That is a possibility. The other one seems to be doing okay, and the other ones are definitely thriving. This one's doing really well. Maybe it needs to be clipped from the bottom. You can grow new ones from existing stevia plants, which I should probably do at some point. I think I already updated on I think this is beets, not radish. That's radish and that's beets. I had to sustain the plant a little bit. Watermelon, lettuce. I should stop clipping them and let them grow at this point. More radish, tomato plant, even smaller tomato plant there. I just moved the mint right here so it gets a little bit more sun. It's probably not getting any sun in the corner. It's kind of interesting. I was thinking about this, like how the plants evolve on their own. They started developing leaves at the bottom and started growing taller so they could get to the sun. It's really interesting. So whatever simple level of intelligence that is. Tomatoes, I've already harvested some more tomatoes. I think the squirrels are stealing tomatoes on the side, even though there's like a trap there. Cilantro that my daughter planted, doing really well. More flaxseed. Some green onions in there. These are actual onions, and I extracted a couple today and I put them in my pita bread that I was making myself. Some lettuce transplants. More cilantro seedlings going in here. I don't know what this is, but it's taking, like, the saplings have evolved. I think it's radish, I'm not sure. Tomatoes, doing well here, thriving. And the peppers are doing really well, phenomenally well, knock on wood. I think they're going to be ready for harvest in another week or so. I thought it was going to take like 3 weeks. But I make sure they got a lot of water and I think this container is good enough. Oops, I got some water on my phone. I think this container is good enough for the soil to drain out, and that's been a really good yield. Assortments of plants, mostly mostly radish and lettuce. More lettuce, and one sweet pea plant that didn't do so well in this container because it's probably not draining so well. I could fix that in a. That's an experiment with algae. It's been there for about a month and a half. We keep changing the water. Still alive. And I think these are spores that it's letting off. I don't know how algae multiplies, so I haven't changed that water in a couple of weeks. I've already extracted a little bit of compost, and the air crawler got one of my tomatoes, but other than that, these are all actual compost from peels and scraps. And I've made another video about how the stuff that was already composting in there was it's here and under this container now, and there was like a strong bacterial smell coming from it. It kind of smelled like poop. It was hard to define, but it was really rich bacteria, and it's all under the soil now, and the earthworms are probably having a feast. It's the ear crawlers, I don't know what evolutionary benefit they would have on society, but this looks like they play some kind of role when it comes to compost. So that's my update for August 4th. Hard work and a little bit of ingenuity does pay off. There's definitely correlations with a lot of other things, with being parents and creating centers of innovation. Anything that you are working on doing, Canadian flag from Peter, forget his last name, Fonseca, I think. Anything that you do is a labor of love, and that's my update for August the 4th. Look at these beautiful trees. Have a nice day.